Hello, Saints. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm back again with another video. I wanted to share about an experience I had with fasting in particular, and let you guys know how I got to the point of even doing it, and then my results from doing it. So please forgive me. But anyway, let me just get right into it. So after I had my third child back in 2020, I gained quite a bit of weight. Even before I had him, after I had him, I did drop about 16 pounds. But I ended up gaining it back. And by the time my pregnancy was over, I was at like 254, which is the biggest I've ever been in my entire life. I have older kids, a set of twins, and even with them, I didn't get nowhere near 254. I think I got a little over 200 with them, and then I went back down after them with diet and exercise, stuff like that. So after I had my third child, I was thinking, okay, well, it's going to be the same thing, even though I was much bigger with a single child. But I thought I was able to bounce back. I was wrong. So I was very, very wrong. So I started doing all the similar things I did with my first kids, and I was breastfeeding. The weight wasn't moving. Nothing like how it did when I was younger. My children do have a pretty significant age gap. Yeah. So by the time I had my last child, I was in a different age range. So yeah, I was doing everything I did the first time, and it wasn't working. And I remember just getting so frustrated because all my life I've had issues with my weight, just being completely transparent. When I was about preteenish, all the way until, now, I guess you could say, I've always been on the heavier side. I did have periods when I was small, I think the smallest I've ever recorded myself on a scale was 135, and that was in high school, and I thought I was huge at that time, and I probably was for my age range at the time. I wanted to be at least like 15 to 10 pounds lighter, but I really didn't know how, because at the time, nobody in my family, really was on that type of time as far as health and fitness and things like that. So I've always struggled with my weight, and I've always been uncomfortable with it, being super transparent. But anyway, when I tried to lose the weight with my when I tried to lose the weight with my third child, I got extremely frustrated. I remember just praying to God, saying, God, I really don't like this. I don't feel good. I really need help with this. I need you to help me. And I'm sorry if the phone's shaking. I'm holding this by my hand. I don't have a tripod. So I'm like, God, I really need you to help me with this. And the Lord started speaking to me about doing fasting. Now, I tried doing fasting prior to that prayer. And the thing was, I fasted 24 hours. I did alternate day fasting, which was 36 hours, which gave me a bit more results. But what I would find out, or what would happen, was I would lose the weight, which would probably be what, water weight or whatever. And then by the time week 3, 4, or even 5 comes around, even with the same diet plan, not cheating, not doing anything, not slacking on my workout regimen or anything like that. And I was doing mostly cardio, and I did that on purpose because I didn't want to bulk up or build muscle, quote unquote, at that point because I wanted I'm gonna be honest, I just wanted a certain number on the scale. And I knew if I started doing like, weight training and stuff like that, it was going to affect the number. So I wasn't doing weight training or anything like that. I was doing strictly cardio and maybe like some Pilates-ish type of stuff. And, walking, getting steps in, and eating keto, like keto. I even went as far as doing a anti-inflammatory diet. So, to, get these results. And it would work. But, like I said, around like week 3, 4, 5, even with consistency, I would start gaining the weight back slowly. I would lose it super quick. Like within the first week, I lost like 7, 10 pounds or whatever. Oh, I was drinking green smoothies, cut out all bread, rice, and stuff like that. And again, like I said, it would just creepily start coming back on me. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? Like, I know for a fact I'm doing everything. I'm not even cheating. When I lost weight before with my 2 children, I would have 2 cheat days in a week. And for a consistent 4 months, I lost 3 pounds a week, at least 2 to 3 pounds a week. I exercised. Basically, I was trying to replicate what I did back when I was younger to now. And it was just not working. And I'm just like, and with no cheat days. So I'm just like, what is going on? And this will bring me to tears. I'm sorry, y'all. I have like notes and I'm studying something here as well. But I wanted to make this video. But I'm just like, what's going on? And I would get frustrated. I would cry because I just never felt so stuck in reference to my weight. I felt like I was just going to be like this forever, right? So when I finally prayed to God about the fast, about my weight, and he told me about fasting, I'm like, well, God, I already did that. That's not working. And so he told me I needed to do 72 hours. Now, I'm not necessarily new to 72-hour fasting. I have done it quite a few times in my life. Usually when I need something major from God, or I need to really understand something, or I need to hear something, or I just need some answers or something like that, then I will go on a 72-hour water fast. I'll drink nothing but water. And from whatever time that night before, all the way until 72 hours later, I will drink nothing but water, eat no food. So I wasn't necessarily new to that. But the way that it was demonstrated to me, or at least the way that I was, informed by the Lord, is that I had to do it in a rolling period. So I ended up looking this up, and there was this YouTube channel called A Healthy Alternative. It's a guy who has locks and glasses, very educated and informative about what he knows. And he was basically explaining something called rolling 72s, which is exactly what it sounds like. You fast for 72 hours, dry or water. I've done it dry too. Dry fasting actually gets you better results for some reason. Maybe because you're not activating your digestive system. But you'll fast for 72 hours and then you'll take a break. Now, I used to do 72 on and 24 hours off. So I would say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably by Wednesday night, I cut the fast off. But I probably won't eat till like Thursday. I'll eat all day Thursday. And I don't necessarily monitor what I eat. Like, I'll make sure I get my green smoothie in, my protein in. And if I want some carbs, I'll eat my carbs. If I wanted something sweet, I would eat something sweet. And then of course, 24 hours pass, I would get back on 72. So 72 on, 24 off. 72 on, 24 off. I did this for 8 months. 8 months. Almost 8 months. And in between, I would take like breaks, right? So I would take I'll take a week off. And I would do it every 4 to 5 weeks. And the reason I would do that is because I was so fearful of the same thing happening again, like with my body starting to stall and say, oh, I don't want to release the weight or whatever like that. So I would take off. So after I did that and I would weigh myself, I weighed myself once a month. I went from 254 to 168 in 8 months. That's what, 86 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, 86 pounds, I believe. In I said 8 months, it really was like 7, but 7 months is some change, like some weeks. It took that long, which I don't think that's a long time at all, but that's what it took for me to release that weight. Mind you, I have not reached my goal weight. My goal weight is actually like around 134. That's my goal. And of course, when I get there, I'll see if I like it or not. But that's what I did to lose the weight. Now, in reference to doing the 72 hours on, 24 hours off, yes, like I said, I would get my protein in. I would get green smoothies in. I would make it myself. If I wanted carbs, I would eat carbs. I didn't count calories or anything like that at this point. If I'm going 72 hours without food, I don't really think counting calories makes sense because I haven't eaten in 3 days. So I didn't do anything like that. Of course, my body was just like it started dropping weight quick, So, like I said, if I wanted to eat whatever my family was eating, or if they were eating pizza or whatever like that, or we were going out to eat, I would also modify my days if I knew we were going out to eat. So then, some days I didn't do a full 72 hours. Some days I probably did like 62 hours, or I did 56 hours or something like that. But I try to stick to it as close as I possibly could. And I walked at least 6K steps. So I wasn't even hitting 10K. I was walking at least 6K. Eventually, I incorporated Pilates into this as well, which helped me with really helped with my tummy. Like I said, I had 3 kids, so it really had my tummy looking good, and I was just feeling myself like, what? Yes, and everything like that. Also, the good thing about doing this, since I was a certain size, I was worried about loose skin. I didn't have any loose skin. And the reason being is because I found out about autophagy, which kicks in, I think, they say it kicks in around 16 hours, but I've seen some people say 18. But to be safe, it's probably 24 hours that kicks in. And something about that tends to eat up your loose skin. I don't know all the science behind it, honestly. I really need to look into it, honestly. But that's what helped for me not to have any loose skin. Mind you, I lost almost 100 pounds. So that was amazing. I also found out recently the reason why I could not lose the weight as easily is because I most likely have some type of insulin resistance or PCOS. I had to go to another doctor actually this month to kind of get information and everything like that, to kind of get a confirmation of my, thought process or whatever. So there's that. So at least I got an answer on that, and I don't feel as bad. It doesn't make me feel like I wasn't trying hard enough, I guess. I think sometimes when we look at people and they're trying to lose weight, we think, oh, maybe you're just not trying hard enough, or you're not working out hard enough, or you're not eating well enough. No, that's not always it. Some people are actually putting in the work. They're eating right. They're doing what needs to be done. But the body is not willing to release the weight. Because why? There's an internal issue that's preventing the weight from being released from the body. So you need to do countermeasures, or you need to do a workaround. This is why there are things like GLP-1s and stuff like that, Ozempic and Mounjaro, Zepbound, we go all that stuff like that, to help with that, to regulate people's internal system and things like that. So the last thing I want to say that I did too, I did pray for a lot of strength. A lot of strength, because it's not easy. It's not easy even skipping breakfast or lunch or dinner or whatever, it's hard to fast, especially if you're not really seasoned or anything like that. It could be very, very difficult. So I had to pray to God a lot for strength. I had to keep myself occupied. I had to do quite a few things to get my mind off of what I was doing at first. Eventually it started becoming like second nature. So it wasn't as big of a deal anymore to do it. But I just wanted to make this video for anybody out there who's, you know, struggling to move weight, who's struggling to try to get weight off their body and things like that. You're not crazy. You could most likely be doing the right thing. It's just that sometimes our internal system doesn't line up like it's supposed to, and you just need help. This is the reason why diabetics have, you know, insulin, things like that. Like I said, again, this is the reason why they have GLP-1s. So don't let anybody make you feel bad or anything like that if you have to take them, because there are issues out there that do prevent people from losing weight. And I really wish people would be more mindful of that when they see a person who's bigger, who thinks, oh, that, and you know, you think, oh, maybe they're just lazy. Maybe they just don't, they like eating a whole bunch of junk food and stuff like that. And that's not necessarily the case. And it makes so much sense, you know, to me, for my own life and then other people's lives that I've seen as well, who have, who mostly had the same issue. As a matter of fact, I was looking up some data the other day in reference to PCOS, and PCOS is so common for women. It's extremely common for us to have. It's like, I would wager like majority of the population, if they went and actually got checked, if we went and got checked, ladies, you most likely probably have some form of it or something like that. If you, especially, you know, it really comes up when you have issues trying to conceive and when you have issues trying to lose weight. So that's when most women find out, is when they're trying to conceive or they're trying to lose weight. Then they find out, oh, well, that's the reason why, you know? So, again, don't feel bad. Don't feel, if you need help or anything like that, that's fine. I just know sometimes the GLP-1s can be a little expensive, or, you know, and you may not have the funds for it. So fasting is another way. But again, this is what it took for me to lose the weight. But look what I had to do. 72-hour fast. Now, I'm not knocking it, but that's what it took. And it does work. And I noticed from other people as well, they said fasting does work for them as well. So this is definitely an option. The Lord told me to share this with others. So that's what I'm doing. And this definitely could be the option for you. It does work when you do it right, when you take the time, give your body a break, and then when you refeed, you're not just refeeding it junk. I'm not telling you to do this and you go back and eat McDonald's for breakfast, Taco Bell for lunch, and IHOP for dinner. Like, no. Incorporate whole foods and fruit and vegetables and protein and things like that, and you will definitely see. I also took a lot of vitamins. I'm going to have to make this a separate video. I'm going to make a separate video. I did some other stuff too, but I'll probably just put in a separate video about that. But I took a lot of vitamins in reference to PCOS, so that also helped. But again, I just want to give you some encouragement. God is with you. And I hope this has blessed somebody like it blessed me. And this is not going to be the end of my weight loss journey. Obviously, I still have like about 35, maybe even 40 pounds to go. We'll see when I get to the weight that I want to be. But thank you guys. God bless you. And you have an amazing day. Bye.